What I was saying was, what the fuck was I saying? I can't remember.
No, you're talking about the water.
Oh, the coffee. Yeah, dude, that's fucking watery.
I think it has to do because the coffee machine we have, it uses a fuck ton of water for just 4 ounces of coffee.
Dude, wait, but how do you pour it on there?
No, it's just a regular it's the regular coffee machines, the stand, not a French press, not, I don't know what you call those
Right, but
coffee machines, but
what do you use to put, like, how do you pour it inside? You know what I mean? Like can you choose how much coffee that goes into it?
Oh yeah.
So then why don't you put more coffee?
With the filters and yeah, I think that's what I fucked up. I didn't put enough coffee grounds. You get what I mean?
So you've been putting 4 ounces of coffee?
I just kind of been eyeballing it. I guess it says like, yeah, it's like 4 ounces per something cups of coffee or something.
Cups, dude.
Well, I told my mom like, how do you do this? And then she's like, oh, that looks right,
dude. That
looks enough for 3 cups.
The coffee grounds that I buy, on the thing it says, what was it? 2.5 tablespoons per 6 ounces of coffee.
2.5 tablespoons for 6 ounces of coffee. Oh, this is probably like an 8-ounce, 10-ounce cup. It looks a lot bigger than what it is.
Right.
Plastic,
no, these are actually 16 ounces.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably just how watered down the coffee is. That because I've been doing it just since yesterday.
Right.
And I had to go to Telia still for like during lunch, during the lunch break or whatever, just to go get coffee because it was so not enough, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, you should just fucking buy a French press, man. That one that I bought is sweet.
Yeah.
You know what? I was actually thinking about buying another one, believe it or not.
Did you end up getting the new one?
Right, yeah. Because what happened was I broke the glass, and I bought a replacement glass. But then what happened is I broke that replacement glass because it wasn't the fit for it. So when I was trying to press the French press part of the French press, it fucking broke. So I bought another one with the same exact model, whatever, and it works. But then I saw, as I was looking for the other glass, when I was looking for the replacement, the second replacement, I found that brand has an aluminum or steel.
Oh, French press. It's a new one.
Right. But
it's a new model.
No, I haven't bought a new one, but I was thinking about buying it's 1 ounce too. And no, not 1 ounce. It's 1 liter. So these make 30. Well, it fits like 34 ounces of water, but really you can only make about like 28 ounces, 29 ounces of coffee, right? Maybe even less. Because after you put in the grounds and everything like that, like what you get is probably about 28 ounces of water.
33.
Okay, so yeah, it's like, okay. Oh, it's really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So 1 liter, 33.
Wow, then they just fuck you up with the 1 liter then. I thought it was way more. Either way, I want to get that one because it's steel. Yeah. So you don't have to fucking worry about it breaking, you know? So I'm thinking about getting that one, actually. If I get that one. No, but the only problem that it's
very shadowy, huh? But it looks fun. I mean, it's more of it's more for the talking. Even our talking feels like it's pretty low, but no, right?
What do you mean?
Like it seems like I'm not talking now. I mean now because I'm talking directly, but I have to be really close. Well,
that's the whole point of them. Yeah. That's it's microphone etiquette. You know, it's not etiquette, but that's just
gonna be
right.
Peeking.
Well, that's just. Like I mean, how do you expect it to pick your voice up if you're way back here?
Yeah. Well, that's the. I mean.
Right.
I guess so. So like even when I go
right.
Like this.
But that's the whole point. Like to me, this isn't a problem. Like because I'm used to talking into microphones. Exactly, But I mean, you see the way that Joe Rogan does it and everything like that. They're like right on it. You know, that's just the way you have to do it.
Yeah, some people I guess are not used to. I feel like give it like a good month of doing it, you get used to being like this close to it, and I feel like his mouth is literally touching the foam, you know,
all the time.
There's no foam.
I don't feel like I could talk like this all day. Like this is to me is comfortable. But the only problem is that I have to be up on the desk on this little thing.
Yeah.
But that's just because of this desk. You know what I mean? Once you get that,
I think eventually I saw you know that Asian comedian from Mad TV? Forgot his name, but
Freddie Lee, I think.
Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of his podcasts, and what he has one camera kind of what we have right now, and then he has one like a GoPro or something on the edge, and then I think another secondary camera kind of just pointing this way or something like that,
Right.
and that kind of has like a good.
Well, the one
You know,
the Joe
there's
Rogan one has.
Well, yeah, he has like 4 cameras.
I think
or something.
he has multiple
A camera
cameras,
per
but the
person,
three
basically, yeah.
but the 3 ones that would be the best would be.
See, like in moments right now where I'm gonna try to be moving like this, like I'm out of frame already right here.
Well, that's just because we're in my room. Like it's gonna be different when we do it in your room, you know?
Yeah.
Or not in your room, but in your garage.
Anywho. All right.
Yeah.
What need to talk about? This is where I wanted
Okay,
to
so
get
you
into.
probably shouldn't do that though.
Yeah. No. Because I have things to talk about.
I know, but like I feel
what should we talk
right.
about?
You shouldn't say, just fucking wherever the conversation goes, it goes, man. Like I feel like having this is what we should talk about. Having lists is so.
Like, oh fuck.
That's what Joe Rogan avoided. Like he specifically avoided that. I mean, I don't know if it'll work. I can't necessarily say that having things in mind. Not to say you can't have things in mind, but like having a list and shit. Like,
yeah, because I mean, there's moments where people are like, "Oh, so I was driving around and I heard about this article. What's your opinion on this?" Or
right.
You know what I mean? But again, it's natural.
Right. It's a natural occurrence. Yeah. Like it doesn't seem forced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, but we can if you want to.
Well,
pick one out.
The one thing that I think people and it's more of our friends that would probably like they would be more interested in knowing Caesar's opinion on this or
on
stuff
what?
Is the last 2 albums that have dropped in the past week, where it comes to the Drake album or even the Beyonce album, where you know, like what's a producer or a person who went to school for 5 years to, you know, to major in music's opinion on those 2 albums, getting like literally shadowing a whole entire month of music, basically.
Right. So, well, I wish I had more of an opinion.
Yeah,
because I
haven't heard it.
I haven't listened to any of them. But what I will say is that a lot of what's going on now, it seems to me very interesting, because you have one fan base that's completely loyal to whatever kind of music that particular person does, like Beyonce, right? And her Beehive or Bayhive, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah. And then you have another group of followers that follow Drake that are like, I mean,
obsessed.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say obsessed. I mean, that's unfair to say, because any person can be obsessed to any artist.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that just
right
those 2, but I'm saying as in more those 2 albums for sure, at least in our circle or our friends, have definitely, I think even with pop culture in general, they have kind of, you know, closed the market for what albums coming out this, at least again, this is in the pop world,
right?
You know, Rolling Stone magazine type of thing, where I really don't know of any other album coming out in the next month or next 2-3 weeks.
Again, popular artists.
I listen to
popular artists.
Popular artists,
right?
And this is just that's popular artists.
But what are you saying though? Is this? Are you saying that's?
No, it's just what was your opinion? I thought you heard some of it.
No, I haven't heard any of them. Either one of them, actually. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's interesting that you get one group one group of fans that are like completely loyal, and Beyonce knows what the hell she's doing. You know what I mean? Like she has everyone on every girl on the edge of her fingertips, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have Drake, on the other hand, that has people that are loyal fans to a particular style. And like I've heard a lot of negative comments and reviews about that particular album, but it's because it's a different type of album. Like so I've heard. I didn't actually listen to it.
I've listened and watched the whole Beyonce thing with Lore. You saw. Well, I think I talked to you about that when we're like 2 weeks ago when it.
Right. There's like a movie.
The music movie.
Okay.
Music video.
That
was impressive. I mean, again, like, I think there was this one thing on Twitter, but this is kind of where people told, again, this is the industry, and that they most people not understanding what a writer is.
Right.
And when there was somebody on Twitter, I'm not sure if it was Complex or another, like one of those like hip hop Twitter sites that I follow, that they're saying that Beyonce's Lemonade and Drake's album together combined had like, combined amount of writers were like 46. It was like 46.
Oh yeah, it's
amount,
like I'm
46
sure it's
writers,
in the cinema.
you know,
I've heard that Drake's been using
it. And then it's like
tons of writers.
It's almost any album in that stage, you know, and that big of that successful of an album, but people don't understand what that writer is. So I guess to YouTube world, kind of, you know, break down what those writer credits really are getting, because you of all people, you have writing credits in some things. You understand what
Yeah.
What
so
that is, you know.
Well, it's funny because I was actually just talking to Roland about this, about like how in the hip hop world, having multiple writers on your songs is like frowned upon,
Is
right?
viewed as a bad thing.
Right. So, but the thing is, and him and I, like I said, we're talking about this, and he was saying that he wanted to have more writers working with him with the things that he does. And I think that's interesting because he told me ultimately what he wants to do is create the best kind of music, right? Mm-hmm. And so other genres do that, like other genres.
Yeah.
So why not hip hop, you know? So I think it's cool that Drake is saying, you know what? I don't have an ego. I mean, yeah, I do, but at the same time, I don't need to write everything, you know? Like, let me get other people in here. Let's see what their feedback is. I want to see, right? And so that's why Beyonce's been doing that forever.
Yeah,
and you know what the interesting
that's the weird thing. Like, even though it's R&B, it's still, I mean, there's a lot of hip hop influences in this album, and there's other, you know, for some reason it's okay if Beyonce uses writers.
Well, but it's
still kind
but
of
it's
like,
because it's a singing, and the culture behind it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like in hip hop is a very egocentric culture, like just generally.
Yeah.
Battle MCs. You know, like I'm gonna talk shit about you and try to put you down, whatever, right? I have the flashiest shit. That's just the ideology behind it. You know, generally, you know, depends on the kind of hip hop you listen to or whatever, but the roots of it are really based in that. Yeah. So that's why when you get more than one person saying that I'm writing my shit, it's like, or other people are writing my shit, it's like, oh, you're not a real MC, blah, blah, blah. But at this particular point, it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's completely different. And that's why Beyonce's been doing it, because she's not involved in hip hop. I mean, in that particular sense of like emceeing, you know, it's singing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a lyric with
which is
melody.
You're saying it's singing because a lot of people give so much shit to Drake because he sings,
right?
You know? And he's at first was considered a singing rapper, and now people almost forgot that he's a singing rapper, and now he's just at the top of his game, you know, at the top of the food chain right now, so to speak, in the hip hop world. And they already forgot that he was considered a singing rapper. And like you're saying that, if he sings, it's okay to have other writers.
Right.
But now because he's considered the best one of the best rappers, I don't want to say the best, but he's definitely selling probably the most right now.
But that doesn't mean you're the best.
Yeah, but he's, you know, he's very fucking popular, but he's a singing rapper.
Right.
He's a singer too. So he doesn't mind that.
Right.
You know?
But even if he was to me, Drake is a smart individual. He's very well spoken. He knows what the hell he's doing. Yeah. Even if he was not singing, he would still have writers. Kanye, he's been having writers on his shit since forever. I think that goes unnoticed, actually. Like if you look at the credits of all well, let's just say particularly All of the Lights, or even that whole album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah. Look at the credits on that, dude. The writing credits and the production credits are insane. Yeah. That's really unselfish, right?
Yeah.
Because you think about it, the publishing, and it's particularly with the writers too, because the writers get a shitload of more money.
It's a team thing that he does.
Right. So it's been done, you know. But I guess people are looking at it more in depth now because they consider Drake more of a rapper than Kanye. I don't know, but I think that whatever both of them are doing is working, so I can't hate on either one of it, you know. I think that if whatever they're doing is dope, then
I think eventually when if Roland ever gets in this, I would be really curious to see like a person has success, you know, and what's their opinion when it comes to these, you know. You've asked, so you kind of know.
He tells me that he wants to have other people in here writing. You know, I gave him I didn't give him lyrics, but he's open for change. Like I suggested some lyric changes, and he did them. But it wasn't like I wrote the whole thing. I mean, it just depends. Like, what is considered?
So you think that's
writing? Like
that's a past.
I wouldn't say that either.
It's not.
It depends on the type of music. Right.
Would you even say it depends on the type of hip hop?
Hip hop particularly, because in other genres no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
In hip hop, like something more popish, more song based, I think it's in the air, you know. But if you're trying to come like an underground MC, like, but that's what you're choosing to be, then that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Because then you're competing with other people that are writing their own lyrics and shit like that, and then it becomes an issue. But if you're just trying to be like if you're just trying to make good music, you know, whatever that means, then however you need to do that is what you should do. Period. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a producer, like, what do you need to do to make good music? And that's subjective, really. Yeah. Because what is good music?
Well, yeah.
You know, then we're going into a whole other fucking...
a whole nother... But my question was more of well, I mean, at first it was about just what's your opinion on those two albums kind of, you know, overshadowing these other albums that have probably come out. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
I mean, if you talk particularly in the pop world... Yeah. It just maybe nothing else is coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think that it hindered any other albums to come out. It just may have been that.
Well, funny, like, you know, that's funny. Like, you say how in the music world, and again, we don't know this because it's not as talked about, I guess. It's not as openly discussed as in the movie world. But there's, you know, like the Captain America movie that came out this weekend. Literally no other major studio even came out with the release this weekend. So it was like, we're not going to do good. Like, this movie's going to own. We're not going to try to get any trickle down money from them, you know, like the theater's full, so maybe let's watch this, you know. I forget what that's called, but some studios sometimes do that. They counter whatever, but like that's kind of what Star Wars did with Sisters, I think. Sisters came out that same weekend, and they were kind of counter programming, I think, where it's like, okay, this is Star Wars, is a guy flick, very, you know, boyish type of themes, and then you have a Sisters movie, and you know, there's nothing really like there's no the fan base is completely different, right?
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, but with movies sometimes, like with this week, you know, like that happens, and you don't really hear about that in the music industry where people are doing that. Like, I mean, like, oh shit, Drake's album's dropping that weekend.
I mean, look what happened.
Back off.
Right. I mean, look what happened when was it? I think it was when Drake's last album dropped. Or was it the Kanye album? I can't remember which one it was, actually. I think it was when the last Drake album.
The best one I could think of, and I guess in our generation was the what was it, the was it Graduation and the 50 Cent album that both dropped at the same.
No, but even more,
there was even hostility because nobody was like nobody was letting go of that.
But
date,
that was that was a marketing scheme behind it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like what? No, but I think there was recently when like 4 hip hop albums dropped at the same. I think it was.
Was it the Rick Ross Jeezy?
No. It wasn't even that. It was like Good Kid, No, it wasn't Good Kid, Mad City. It was the new Kendrick album. I can't remember the name.
To Pimp a Butterfly?
To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. I think it was 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and I think it was it was like all of these came out on the same weekend in the same time period. And I even remember having a conversation with you or someone else that was like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if they can take those kinds of things into consideration.
For me,
maybe
I was
they don't.
Ahead of, like, I don't know, Def, you know, whatever, Def Island or Def Jam, whatever, or you know, EMI or whatever the fuck it is. I would look. I'm pretty sure they talk to other studios and go, "Hey, man, when is this kind of getting released?" But then that's even the whole thing now of what's been happening in the past 2-3 years, where people just like, well, when are we gonna drop this? We're dropping it Thursday. You know, like, what's his name? Chance the Rapper just kind of, you know, on his Twitter a week ago was like, guess what, guys? We're dropping it in May 13th.
That's the way to do it, man. You know, you got to give. You know who you have to give all the credit to with that? Jay-Z.
He was the first thing with the phones. You're talking about the phone.
He was the first person.
What was that? What was for?
It was for Holy Grail.
Holy Grail, right?
Right. Yeah, because he dropped. He had announced it a week before it dropped.
3 years ago now.
I think so. Yeah.
4 years ago now.
It was 3 years.
Yeah.
He had announced it right before it dropped, like a week, and then he released those videos, and then he released it on the phones, right?
And you had to have Sprint or you had to be
Samsung phone.
Samsung phone or something.
But then right after that,
pretty genius of him.
Then right after that, Beyonce did it the day before. No one even knew that an album. I remember specifically.
Yeah.
He was like testing the waters. Yeah. He was like, he told Beyonce, babe, you know what? Let me just see how this works, and if it works out, you should do this with your album. And then we don't have to pay any. We don't have to pay the record label any fucking. Well, they are the record label, right? Yeah. They don't have to pay anything like back for promotion.
We don't have to pay each other.
Cause Beyonce did it like the night before, like just all of a sudden the fucking whole album released. I can't remember the name of the album.
I think it was a self-titled.
Yeah. That was nuts.
That was
and then now that's just the way it is. That's so crazy how like the music business is changing. You know, like there's no promotion. I mean, but because of social media, and when you have like 30 million fans,
I think it's that whole no promotion. You don't need promotion because you have your promotion in the palm of your hand type of thing, where you could just Beyonce 40 million Twitter followers, album just released. Like you don't need. Posters anticipating
because
for a month or two.
It's
just dead weight of money. It's why spend the money on that?
Because you know what? And the interesting thing is that the people that are gonna listen to your album are the people that are following you on your social media.
Exactly. Yeah. And if they don't, and most likely, if you don't follow her on your social media, you have a friend who's gonna follow her.
Did you hear about the new Beyonce album?
Did you just hear that this release, and then it goes all over Instagram, and then it becomes it's a chain of events that happens. That's what happened with Pablo.
Yeah, but it's like, particularly boom, 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 those big artists, though.
Yeah,
because if you think
it's tough now because for these like I don't want to say the artists that are beginning, but the artists are in the middle. You know, the I don't know. Let's say I don't want to say like J. Cole, but even someone smaller than that, like Logic or or somebody who like like that, like not a 10, but like a solid 8 in sales world, not in talent, not in anything. Just say like. How are those people now selling their albums? You get what I mean?
Well, the thing with those people is that those people have a loyal fan base. I tell Roland this all the time. I'd rather have 100 loyal fans than 1,000 phony fans, because those 100 loyal fans will do and go whatever you tell them. You know what I'm saying? So I could have 50,000 followers, right? And those are 50,000 fans that are loyal to me. Right. So if I'm going across the country, I don't need 40 million fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if in reality, of those 40 million fans, only a portion of them are really going to buy the music.
But you do get those people who have 40 million loyal fans, the Beyoncés or the.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. How does that person who's in the middle, who has those loyal fans, who has that dedicated 150,000 following, or let's say even 500,000, right? 500,000 following, which is like, it's not a huge following, but it's big.
Well, where's
even that next level?
I don't even, but I think saying 40 million loyal fans is totally not fair, because the record sales would immediately prove that to be wrong. Because if they were loyal.
Yeah, but that's like more now streaming sales too. Because out of those 40 million people, I'm pretty sure, let's say half of them are buying the album. Not even buying.
No, not even buying.
Streaming. So
like a small percentage are buying the album. Yeah. A really small percentage of that are buying the album, and then maybe like half of that percentage is actually like streaming the album. Well, in any case, the people that are in the middle ground, right? I mean, they still are maintaining their success or trying to build their success through word of mouth, right? But it's more of I'm super interested in this kind of music, because it's definitely like, depending on who the artist is, it might be like more niche style, so it's you know what, this is my artist, I'm gonna let you listen to him. This is dope, check him out. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually that turns into like oh, okay, 100,000 fans to 200,000 fans or followers, I should say, and then like so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
It's funny, like it's funny how you just said right now that not fans, I mean followers.
Right, because it's
like
fucking completely different.
The important F word now, I guess for musicians now isn't fans. It's more of even followers.
Well, that depends. You know? That depends. It depends on who you. It depends, because you could have, like I said, you could have 100,000 followers, but only have 200 likes on your Instagram.
Or have like 5,000 out of 100,000. You have 5,000 people who are actually even buying your shit,
right?
Or
even fucking with you in general, right? Yeah. So that's why, and it's funny because like I think record labels initially were looking at, like, I'm sure there's some kind of like ratio where they say, okay, out of this percentage of fans or followers, maybe only this percentage is our actual loyal fans. You know,
interacting with the artist.
Right, that's a great way to put it. Interacting with the artist, And so, like, if you see, like, I know that before, record labels would be like, okay, how many followers does this person have? Okay, 20,000. Okay, how many likes does his shit get? Only 200. Something's weird there.
Something's weird. Something's going on. Oh, like, hold on. We gotta. This is a shitty thing about doing this whole 30-minute thing.
Why?
Because it's already a 30 minutes.
Oh,
but
really?
I'm gonna go back. Like, hold on to that. Like, kind of. There's this thing with this guy who kind of got I guess they shunned the light. They pointed the light on him for having like 2 million followers.
Yeah.
But he's only getting like 3,000 likes.
Right. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And it's like, what? You know, what's going on there? Time out. Anyways, going back to that, where you're talking about right now with having fans but not interacting.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this guy. I'm not sure if I could say his name, you know, like, but so there was this guy who he's huge on Instagram.
Look at this.
He works. Who's that? Like, who posted that though?
No, they sent it to me.
Oh wow.
What the hell?
But anyway, so there's this guy on Instagram, you know, he has 2 million followers, but I guess he was doing some type of fraud with some, like, he has like this workout plan or whatever, and charges people $500-$600 for the workout plan.
Okay.
And people were realizing that the workout plans were the same. They weren't any. There was no.
Oh, okay.
You get what I mean? Like,
right. But that it was tailored to you.
Yeah, it wasn't
really,
tailored.
Really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
So he did the work once and just distributed it.
Yeah. So I guess that's a big no-no, and PayPal excluded him, or like they, not indicted him, but they kind of like investigated into his account or into his business.
Okay.
Because the business that he was running, right? And this guy's rich. I mean, he has a lot of nice cars and everything. But again, the point was that he had like 2 million followers on his Instagram account. And a lot of these other people on YouTube were saying, like, what the hell? Like, you have 2 million followers on your account. I have 10,000 followers on my account, but I have more likes on my Instagram and on my pages, on my Facebook pages.
Comments and shit.
What are those real people or are those bots, you know?
Right.
And he came out with a video saying, oh, these are my real fans. Like, I never purchased anything like that.
What
I
a
never
fucking liar.
And it's like, well, like, for one, does it matter? You know, should it matter? And then two, it's like, I'm not even gonna say has it come down to this, but it's like, you know, that's what's happening now, basically, because people understand that. But then again, like you said, the record companies, they're smart. They understand that, okay, people could do this. So what's really happening?
It depends on what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're an artist in whatever medium, really, and you I guess particularly if you're trying to be a recording artist or someone famous, and you have a particular amount of followers, someone else is going to try to invest money in you because you have this outlet to advertise businesses through your social media outlets, right?
Yeah.
Which is what the record companies do, right? Yeah. And so if you're trying to do something like that, then it would matter. But if you're just, you know, fucking, at the end of the day, if you're just someone that wants a shitload of followers, it doesn't fucking mean a thing, you know? But like I said, if you're someone that's trying to promote, like I'm going to say, for example, you were the one, right? You had 50,000 followers or 100, or let's say 1 million followers, right? and I wanted to use your account. You tell me, hey, you know what? I have 1 million followers. Pay me this amount of money and I'll promote your product.
Yeah, and there's people who do that now.
Right, but it wouldn't.
Ambassadors.
Right. Brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
However, that if your followers are fake, then I'm paying you to promote to
and I'm
only
pretty sure that
a small percentage of your
that
real
could be in the contract
followers
or something, you know. But people wouldn't even investigate if they're real or not.
I mean, if I was paying someone a substantial amount of money, I would want to fucking know.
You would find out. I would,
right? Because
sure.
otherwise, you're paying like money that's not really getting advertised to a bunch of people.
Remember what happened with Instagram like a year ago or 2 years ago?
Oh, when they were trying to do ads.
When they did that? No. When they did the whole, they tried to get rid of bots. And
right. Well, they did. I think a lot of people lost fans.
Beaver was somebody's fan base dropped like 4 or 5 million people.
Oh, right.
And it was like,
I mean, I'm sure a lot, but here's the
lot
thing.
of people. Yeah, a lot
here's
of
the thing though. Like sometimes, like if you have your
I'm pretty sure it was everybody. Like there was other people.
Right. But I'm sure.
But but that's the thing. Like even Justin Bieber's head marketing plan, like direct, team was like, oh shit, 48. We got to compete with.
No, well, but
46.7 versus 43.
I don't think they give a shit at that point. But what I'm saying is that if you have your profile public, right, which doesn't allow you to choose who, or not choose, but
choose who's following you.
Right. Then people are going to fucking follow you. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that follow me that are bots. Yeah. Right. That I didn't choose to. They just fucking follow. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
They probably want the follow back.
Wants to follow you. And
right.
You're like,
they probably just want my follow.
And then you're like, I get what this is. Yeah.
Right. So Justin Bieber can't control that, or any other person can't control that, right?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, so like those fans.
So you don't think it was the actual studio, or it wasn't his team that was buying those bots?
No,
it was just more like, hey,
because if it was, if say for example when that happened and he lost, I don't know,
like say 3-4 million people.
No, I wouldn't even go crazy over that. Maybe like of his 40-some million followers, if he lost 20 million, then I'd be like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah,
that's a little iffy.
Yeah,
but even then, 20 million followers at the end of the day is still fucking a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But that just depends. Like I said, you can't control who follows you. So,
well, you could, but then,
I mean you could.
You definitely could. Like,
you could, but then
set it to that. But then,
if you're a famous person, you're gonna be looking at your fucking followers forever.
Like
you're gonna have a full time.
Yeah, you're gonna need a fucking intern going. This guy looks fake. No,
right.
No one's gonna do that. So.
But at the end of the day, if you're an artist, any promotion is good promotion. You know, I forget who said that. I think it was like Mike Tyson or something.
Oh yeah, like there's no such thing as bad publicity. Or
yeah. Like really, there isn't. Yeah. You know, and that's true. Yeah. I would, I mean, look what happened with Kim K.
Yeah,
she thought that was bad publicity. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. When that first happened, whether she did that purposely or not, is still super. It's still super embarrassing, like in general.
And obviously. And this is kind of the one, like obviously she never, or whoever planted, because I think there's this whole like conspiracy theory that it was her mom that sold the video, or whatever, or leaked it because she knew what was going to happen at this time. I mean, people, again, not people, but younger people than us, tend to forget that there is a period in Hollywood culture where if you were in a sex tape, it was kind of like
frowned upon.
Cool.
Frowned upon.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course that. But I'm saying like that year, whatever year it was, 2007, 2008.
Doesn't matter. That 2006.
Yeah. So when that was going on, they had the Paris Hilton tape already out. Right. There was another tape I think that was.
I remember like the Pamela Anderson. That one was
that was a little bit older though.
Right.
Have you ever seen that video? By the way,
I think I have.
I've seen that video. It's pretty crazy, but anyways, but yeah, like I remember when the Paris Hilton one came out, that was all over. I don't even know if TMZ was a thing yet, but it was all over the news or whatever.
Right.
It's all over MTV.
And where is she now?
And she doesn't have to be. She's DJing now somewhere.
Here's the thing, like, that brings me to an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you get what I mean? Like, I mean, she knew that sex tapes at that time were a hot thing.
Right.
She maintained without the pun of the hot, but it was a hot thing.
She was able to maintain. She was able to jumpstart successful,
whatever she is. Yeah.
Modeling slash personality, right?
Yeah,
but here's the thing. This brings me to the interesting thought I just had. Okay, Paris Hilton had a sex tape. I'm sure there's been plenty of other people that have had sex tapes too. Okay.
That was the big one.
Right, that was the big one. Why was it big though?
Well, because she had that reality TV show already. She had
it before?
Yeah.
Okay, my point is this, right? It was embarrassing or whatever to her if she didn't really do that on purpose. But she was able to jumpstart a super fucking ginormous career, right? Because like Paris Hilton, she was famous too. Where is she at now? Doing drugs somewhere.
Again, like that. Paris Hilton. I mean, again, obviously Kim Kardashian didn't really have to do anything in her life anromore to be
Neither
rich,
did Paris.
But there's a big difference, I'm pretty sure, financially between the obviously Rob Kardashian, right?
Uh-huh.
The money he left over for that family compared to the fucking Hilton family. You get what I mean?
What you're saying is that
there is a difference in.
So you're saying there was a necessity. Not necessity, really, but there was like a.
But I think there was something like, well, for one, from what I know they were friends, right? Like I think that's
back in the day, yeah.
She like again, like this is.
I don't think they're friends now.
Like kind of paraphrasing what I saw like on a fucking stupid documentary on Kim Kardashian one time or something on E, probably E, but I think what she started was like she would do the closets, like she was a closet designer, whatever the fuck you call that. Like,
okay.
She would kind of make sure the closets looked good and in her famous friends' houses. That was like her thing. And then her and Paris were good friends, and they started partying together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess you see success off of doing nothing from Paris Hilton, and you go
like literally nothing.
Yeah, and you go, hey, like I could do that too. I could do nothing. I'm actually doing more than nothing. I'm actually doing something.
Right.
And she saw, her sex tape came out. That generated something.
Right.
I'm dating a famous guy at the time, a somewhat like a B-lister, C-lister. Okay, like it won't hurt, right? It won't hurt, like you said, it won't hurt. Well, obviously she's never gonna. I mean, this is that whole thing where like, she's never gonna really be taken. Like that's always gonna be in the background of her. Like she could never. She could be like the most. I mean, I don't want to say she could be like the best woman in the world one day, like donating all her time and all her space or everything for some fund in fucking Africa, being this great, generous person. Because maybe she might be a different person then. Right now, she's not.
Right.
But there's always going to be those people who go, bitch, you got famous off a sex tape, and that's going to happen. And now, obviously, she's like, she's grown from that.
Right.
But it's...
Okay, so then let me ask you this, and to everyone that cares, why do you care? Like, why does it matter that she got famous off of a sex tape?
Again...
Maybe not, I'm not saying you particularly, but you
why
and...
do people care? Or why are some people kind of... I think, well for one, everybody has sex.
To me, it sounds like they're jealous.
Yeah, for me, I think everybody has sex.
Right.
So they're just kind of like, I can't believe this person got famous off of doing something I do, too.
Right, and I don't get anything out of it.
And I'm not getting anything out of it.
Well, I mean, other than like what it is.
Yeah. So I think that's for one, and then for two, it's seeing. Oh God, dude, have you seen an episode of the Kardashians? Like, have you ever seen?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen an episode.
I think that's where sometimes people. Again, it's splitting from that whole sex tape thing to what their family is now, where it's like micro dramas,
Just like, but they become so good at that. Like, I think
they're the kings of that.
I think that they've done that so often that
they're the royal family of dramas,
right? Honestly, I'm not gonna hate on it. She got famous. I don't care if she had a sex tape. Anyone could have gotten a sex tape and gotten famous. Do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever they did, that doesn't bother me. If their TV show is, if it annoys other people or it's cool to other people, that's their thing.
TV. Yeah, you could flip the channel and you have the power now.
Right.
To
So for me, it's like when all this hate is getting directed to them, it's like you definitely have the option to look away and avoid it.
Yeah. So I think that's what most of us do. We obviously don't watch it, but there's moments where our family members or friends go, oh, well, let's watch it. And you're just like, shit, fuck, we're here again.
Right.
And I think that's the moment where you see like, damn, like these people are cool. They're bright. They're funny. Like, I like to hang out with these people. What do they see in this? Because I know they're not
right.
like they're not like this, or at least I don't think they are.
Well, maybe because
it's
they see a life that they'd wish they had.
Yeah, and I think that's I forgot who talked about like I think one of those doctors, or I think you remember he said it like his wife liked watching that show, and she's like a professor at at UCLA or USC or something like that, you know. She's like, why do you like watching this show? You're a fucking professor at USC. Like,
right.
You shouldn't be watching this shit. And she's like, I just find it so funny. Like, these people are so dramatic over dumb shit.
Right.
And they have really nice stuff. And
it's a form of entertainment.
Funny, you know?
It's a form of entertainment. It's like, you know what? You could make the comparison that it's the same as dudes watching an episode of Jackass. That's just as stupid. Like, if you look at...
worse,
it's probably worse because it I wouldn't say it promotes.
That's a really good comparison.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, what's the benefit in that? Like, you're watching people getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, Jackass is probably the dude comparison to the Kardashians. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
So, like, it would be hypocritical for me to sit here and be like, you know what? Fuck the Kardashians and their show. But let's go watch an episode of Jackass.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think it's just a thing like what you said. Like, it depends on what I'm into. Like, sometimes I like watching some, like, shit stupid shows. Like, those like, stupid movies, those, like, funny comedies that, like, what are they? They're like the scary movie style comedies. I know this is stupid, but it's like, what is it? Something humor. What is it? Dry humor, whatever the fuck it's called, right? That just depends on my mood. You know what I mean? Like, and some people are in that mood more often than not. But either way, it's like,
I think that's the thing. I think because you know that some people, or because you, and I think this is something like a person who could identify that you're doing that it separates you from a person who just finds this really funny but doesn't know why. You get what I mean?
Okay.
And that's, I think, where people draw that line of like.
So what does that say about the person that can't identify it?
Well, they're just like, well, again, like, you know how Joe Rogan says, this is just dumb fucks. This is just dumb fucking people who just don't know, like you're saying that you're turning off, like, not turning off your brain, but you're going on autopilot for 2 hours,
right?
You know, and you're just gonna watch this fucking, what is it? How to,
Which one?
It's the Wayne Brothers one, the one that Steve likes watching all the time, and I love that movie. How to survive or.
Don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace in the hood while drinking whatever and fuck that. Just don't be a menace. You know, that movie. There's not like, but even that, like, there's some parts of the movie where you're just like, oh, I get what they're doing, and the movies that they're making fun of had deep meaning. You know, like.
Well, but here's the thing, though. It's relative, or it's not relative,
like,
but
movies are different than the Kardashians.
That's not
stuff.
true.
I think it's more like Jackass.
That's not true.
You know?
It's subjective.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, those movies. No. You're right. Those movies are. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. It's like, it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
There could be a woman that's watching the Kardashians that can be like, I relate to this in this particular way.
Like, there's a message behind this,
right?
fight.
Or this, or whatever it is, right? That I might not necessarily like. I don't see it, but okay. Let me ask you why, because you seem to know, or maybe someone somewhere in. You know, I don't know, but do you get what I mean? Because it's unfair, and I have this opinion about anything. Yeah. It's unfair to criticize anyone or anything without genuinely knowing a substantial amount of information on it.
Yeah.
Because there's probably one topic has so many things, or one piece of art, show, whatever it may be, can be interpreted in so many ways.
Well, I think,
and everyone is different. Everyone sees everything differently.
Yeah, but you're asking people, or you're asking yourself, to like dive into the history and the beginning of reality TV.
Okay.
And what reality TV?
It'd been around for way before the Kardashians.
Yeah. I mean, again, from what I remember. The big reality TV guy was Real World, right? That was the one that started all like 94, 95.
That's exactly what the Kardashians are, except for non-famous people.
Yeah.
Because they lived in the same place. It was the Real World.
Yeah. It was the Real World. It was people living in a house, right?
Right. That's the same fucking thing. The only difference is that these people are poor.
Yeah.
and it's their first time on TV.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only difference. But if you think about it, it's the same kind of bickering and drama between.
So good question to see why, or to understand why you think now more women are into reality TV than men. And I'm not saying just.
I mean,
is that
a fact?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could Google it.
I'm pretty sure it's a fact.
Yeah,
though.
I'm pretty sure it's a fact. I don't want to sound sexist or anything right now.
It probably is.
This is why people who do podcasts get get a lot of shit, you know, because you have to have an opinion sometimes, you know, and that's I'm like 95%. I would be fucking surprised if reality TV show viewings are more like a higher percentage of men watch reality TV shows.
I really don't think that's true.
Think so.
Well, it depends on what you consider reality TV and what shows you talk about.
Okay, yeah. So where I'm going with this question is like, why do you think that more at this generation now, at this 2010s up, you know, reality TV split from going, hey, let's try to entertain both sexes, you know, both sex.
Okay.
And let's just focus a little bit more on the female aspect of things. I mean, honestly, like, let's just look at this. Real Housewives, right? Real Housewives.
Okay, yeah.
The divas,
okay,
the whatever.
Right,
I don't know. Anything on fucking VH1, basically, or like E.
Yeah.
And what happened? Like, where and what happened that I'm asking? I don't know. I'm not assuming you know. I'm just saying, like, where do you think and what do you think happened?
I think what happened was. Okay, everyone is different, but I think that men generally have a hard time, like, being interested in bickering. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, shows like that are based off of relationship faults. Yeah. Or maybe not faults, but just, like, relationship issues.
Yeah.
Whatever that relationship
it's that whole thing,
is.
Like, men like to avoid. And
right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
Instead of avoiding... This is gonna sound again. I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything. I'm not trying to, instead of avoiding, women are actually even more like, oh man, I don't even have enough bickering in my life. I'm gonna move. I need to see some other people have like some real life traumas,
or maybe
make me feel better, or just to kind of like,
or maybe
just to be interested.
All right, or they could be like, you know what, like I think my life is shit. Let me go see someone else's life and know that their life is worse than mine, and I can be like feel better about mine.
It's almost to this day. And this is I don't think it's a bad comparison, but I think people can make the comparison of it's almost like how men watch sports, where you're like, whose team are you on? Are you on like Kylie or Kendall?
It's the fucking same thing.
You know, like, oh my God, like Kendall totally did this thing. Like, what do you feel about this week,
right.
You know?
It's just what piques your interest. You know, men, it's the majority of men are sports and outdoor type style things, and women are more indoor relationship
I mean, it's like
based.
Asking, like, why don't women get into sports as much as men? Why do most women, the majority, right? Why is it not so much of a thing? Like physical, these physical sports, physical.
It's like an aggression.
It's aggression. You know? It's aggressive things, and most of these girls are not gonna try to. They'll enjoy it, but they'll watch. They'll sit through it. And it's kind of almost to the same like way of us. It's like
well, we'll watch and sit through something just to.
So it's fucking crazy.
Well, at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. You know,
it's entertainment, but it's different types of.
Right, and like everyone is a victim of this bubble. You know, of this like mindless entertainment, because sports can potentially be a mindless entertainment. Well, that might be saying too much, but I mean, there might be a lot of complicated things going on within the sport. I'm not trying to say that you could like for example, like I like to watch hockey. Like there's a lot of technique and a lot of knowledge behind it, but watching it, it's not really sparking any new intellectual theory when you see a person kick a ball into a goal. Right? No, but it's entertaining as fuck. Right? Yeah. And is there anything wrong with that? No, I don't think so. You know, right? It's like saying, why? Is there anything wrong with the some people like to go to strip clubs and watch chicks take their clothes off. Why can't I watch some hockey? And why can't a woman watch the Kardashians or whoever? Oh yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's to be a question of why can't they. It's just why. Like, why are they doing it? Well, why are we watching it? Well, no, it goes down. It goes down. It all boils down to why men watch sports. Well, no. But it all boils down to a form of entertainment. Yeah. I am not doing anything else right now.
watch some hockey.
Let's watch some hockey. Or someone else may say, I'm not doing anything else right now. Yeah. Let's watch.
But there's, I mean, like they talked about it in one of the episodes, and it's kind of, it was interesting how they did this connection between like some of these older sports and why, again, like why obviously you're saying like, oh, why do men watch these sports too? And like the scrum, you know, like the rugby scrum is even kind of like a practice to what military, like, you know, these Romans were doing at the time, or these, you know, there's almost something ancient about seeing some of these sports being played. You know,
right.
There's a wall, and behind the wall, there's a really important guy throwing and controlling the game.
It's like really deep. Well, at the end of the day, this form of aggression and trying to
battle or for something.
Right. It's like deep in our roots, I think, you know, and so we see things like that, and we're like, I mean, I'm not the most athletics and not the most like
we're not super
into shit like that, but every now and again when I see a group of dudes that are about to go into a fucking thing, it's like, dude, let's go, you know. And it may be something that's just that's embedded in our genes, you know. Maybe it's like a form of survival. When we get, it's like almost like it's like a group of people trying to go hunt something.
It's those ancient, like that. Those ancient.
It's, and you know what? At the end of the day, it's like a fight or flight moment.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think sometimes it's enjoyable to see that.
Right.
You know. Yeah, those are just those old school. I don't want to say old school, but those, again, like those ancient traits that like the sexes have. You know, because there's the protector and the hunter.
Those are things that we can never get away from. You know, like I think those kinds of things are genuinely embedded in our genes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah.
How long do you want to run this?
I'll do like another half-hour one.
Well, let's just stop this one. Let's stop this one.
Stop this one.
Well, we have to do shows.